Hey Techno Freaks, TeknoOdin here, continuing the character breakdowns for Dissidia Final Fantasy NT. This time we're not interested. With Cloud.
I fight who I want, when I want.
A Vanguard, Cloud dominates his opponents with sheer brute force and deceptive range. This is done through Cloud's ability to charge his attacks similar to Kefka. Like Kefka, if you hold the BP or HP button down, Cloud will charge up his attack, boosting both his damage and range, making his range deceptively great, and his damage even greater than that of Garland. His BP attacks are as follow. His neutral ground Sonic Break is a 3-input attack where Cloud slashes 3 times with his Buster Sword, knocking them away for a wall rush. As stated, charging increases range and damage, but it's the range that makes this so good. At full charge, it lands as long as your opponent is square inside the second zone, making it the furthest reaching neutral melee attack in the game, as far as I can tell. And its level 2 charge isn't too shabby either. Its main downfall is it's slow when doing the full string. Use it for high damage, or drop the attack before the final hit to set up for team attacks. His forward ground, Clim Hazard, is another 3-input attack where Cloud charges with his sword, stabbing the opponent before lifting them and himself into the air before spiking them to the ground. Its starting range is equal to Sonic Break's maximum range, so the second zone. Then it goes to either side of Zone 2 and 3's borderline, meaning as long as that number is in between that line on your radar, you are golden. This is his Hyper Armor move, so use it to trade blows, and dropping it before the spike will leave the enemy kind of immobile until they land to the ground, so make use of that for great setups. His backwards ground is Blade Beam, where Cloud slams his sword to the ground, creating a conal shockwave, similar to his move in Advent Children. The base version, the shockwave, is quite small. At level 2 the shockwave becomes bigger, but at full charge, Cloud will fire off a vertical beam at the opponent that explodes on impact. The maximum range for the beam is just on the final line, visible on the radar, making it one of the longest Vanguard projectiles in the game. This move is your best get off me tool and a great long range snipe tool as well. His neutral air, Slashing Blow, is another 3-input attack where Cloud slashes horizontally twice, then sends the opponent flying for a wall rush. No, it doesn't combo into Omni/Slash version 5 like the PSP versions, however, it's just like its ground counterpart. Its max range at full charge is dab in the middle of Zone 2. Also, in some situations you can sort of combo Clim Hazard into this, but it's not all that easy. As you know, these moves aren't meant to be comboed into. His forward air is Braver, and this is pretty much the BP version of Earthquake. Cloud launches forward before dive bombing the opponent, creating a shockwave sending them flying for a wall rush. Its damage is based on how high you land the attack, and is one of his great damage dealers. And even better, you can combo it again straight off a wall rush. Great 50-50 reset combo for this is a low wall rush into Clim Hazard, drop the Clim Hazard via dodge cancel, then go for another Braver, potentially into a HP attack. His backer is Finishing Touch, or Terminal Vortex as it's named in the move list, but we know it's Finishing Touch. This is Cloud's best ranged attack. It has Cloud spin like a Beyblade, and then faster than you can say let it rip, summons a tornado that homes in on the opponent. Charging increases the size, range, and damage, with the full charge version's travelling range and lasting time being that on par with Southern Marksman attacks, making it very dangerous, but very overused. This is your opener along with Blade Beam. Get used to using these to feel things out at the start of a match. His dash attack is Cyclone Rush. While unchargeable, it is another decent attack, which has Cloud spin with his sword twice, knocking the opponent away for a wall rush. The move is decent for getting in, as Cloud's poise activates at the first spin and continues till the attack is finished, meaning you can activate it earlier than needed. For HP attacks we start with Cross Slash, an advancing melee attack that has Cloud swing 3 times, with the first 2 hits doing BP damage and the last hit dealing the HP damage. The move is pretty quick and its range can be quite useful. His second HP attack is Meteor Rain. This is pretty much another wave move, but it has the visual properties of that of Onion Knight or Terra's Meteor. It has decent range and can be annoying to deal with due to target switching. His third HP attack is Cherry Blossom, and this move is pretty much Black Fang, which feels weird on Cloud due to his offensive nature, and the only difference here is the final part has Cloud unleash 3 spells instead of 1. His fourth HP attack is none other than Omnislash, his most powerful limit break in Final Fantasy VII, which funny enough translates pretty well into this game. The attack has Cloud Slash a few times, dealing BP damage before finishing with the HP damage. Now all of his HP attacks are great, which I'd expect no less from the poster boy of the series. Cross Slash has deceptive range and decent tracking, while Meteor Rain, as I said, becomes a real pest with the ability to change your target. Cherry Blossom is a little bit worse for Cloud, as it leaves you wide open for a stupidly long time while he casts his 3 spells, and if missed, you're pretty much zanked. Omnislash, in my opinion, is by far the go-to. While I say they are all great, Omnislash is the only HP attack with the right setup to incap an opponent from default BP. That alone is just too good. How it is done segues into his unique EX skill, Limit Break. This has Cloud go into his famous pose as he breaks his limit, increasing his defense and shortening his charge times, making his attacks more deadly at a quicker pace. But that's not the meat of it. The meat of this is how it affects Omnislash. You see, just like his dash attack, Omnislash cannot be charged, and thus Limit Break has to do something else with it. Normally, Omnislash does 4 strikes of BP damage before landing the final HP slash. With Limit Break, that number is increased to about 9 BP slashes, while also making Cloud invincible from the first hit to about the rise up before the final strike. This creates the catalyst for the Omnislash's true potential, as we now go on to the general EX skills. For these EX skills, it's simple. You have your Vanguard normals like Teleport, Sheer Bravery, Provoke, and the metas. But then we have the main setup choice here, and that is Mighty Strikes with Shield Rend. For those who watched my X-Def video, you know I've touched on what Cloud can do with this combination, but here it is in full. Mighty Strike boosts your attack, along with those of your teammates caught inside the radius, while Shield Rend lowers the defense of any opponent in its radius. Combine all 3 EX skills, and on an opponent with default BP, while having default BP yourself, Omnislash will boost your HP count before the final hit to 3,512. That's right, including the break, this will give you 2,512 BP in one attack, which gives ample reason for the opponent to take Alexander, but this means that in this state, as long as you have 2,000 BP, you'll be able to take anyone out using Omnislash. As for team comp, I feel you should want someone who can buff you to make your damage even better for when you don't have your Mighty Strikes, Rend Shield, Limit Breaking setup. So Ramza, Bartz or Kuja can make this work. You'll also want someone to hold the opponent in place for you while you unleash your attacks. So characters like Ultimisia, Ace would work. Cloud himself can act as both interceptor and good for tag team setups. Clim Hazard is great for dropping the opponent into your teammate's attack or doing your own thing. Overall, Cloud is what you want for a poster boy. He is an easy to pick up and play character with some great ways to advance the playstyle. He can carry a team on his own without being too OP that he wins every game. and a Kefka player would have great ways to utilize him or vice versa due to the two of them having more or less the same mechanic. Target switching with a full charged finishing touch is annoying to deal with, and that power and range of his normal attacks, and not to mention that limit breaking Omni-Slash setup, makes sure that Cloud's opponents stay right where they belong, inside his memories.
Looks like I finally found my way.
Okay guys, that's it for today's breakdown. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell thingy, and share this video. Also, if you have any tips and tricks you found yourself, please share them in the comments section below. And finally, tune in next time where we taste the blade of a hero with Sephiroth. But until that day, this has been TeknoOdin. Take care.